Ha! All right, I have everything laid out the way I need. Anytime I do any build of an, like a radio control car or truck, and it's a kit, right? I want to make sure to lay out everything so I can identify that everything is where it needs to be. I have all of the parts and all of the tools I need to start the job. Now, I know as geeky as this sounds, first thing I do, reach for the almighty holy grail of any radio control car, and that would be the instruction book. It goes ahead and tells you what kind of tools you'll need. Thread lock, wrench, pliers, some needle nose pliers, some drivers, and a sharp razor blade. Razor blade's not in there, but I already know. Had a quick look through the first few pages of the instructions. Get yourself ready because you know what steps you're going to need to take. And usually, when people say to me, is a car like this or is a truck build like this something good for a beginner? I'm going to have to lean towards the yes side before I've even built this, because I've already built similar trucks from this company. And because one of the reasons is, look at this. Even though it's saying everybody does this, everybody labels their stuff, every manufacturer does, but it's the quality of labeling, okay? When you're able to see the bag part number on the front, and then every single little bag has equal stuff on the, labeling on the outside. Come on, nothing wrong with that. Now, hopefully I don't have to eat crow here and they've mislabeled it on the inside. I don't think so. I haven't had that experience in the past, but I'm going to go ahead and say, apart from the labeling, when you get parts like this, I mentioned this in the last section of this build, when you get things that are pre-assembled, right? Check this out, like this transfer case, it's pre-assembled, all the gears and bearings are in there. Same with the actual transmission, and check it out, Yota axles. Okay, differential pinions already in there. You got the full, the axle assembly already in the housings. The bearings are done. Perfect. All cast aluminum. Check it out. Even the bumpers in this car. I noticed this. Yeah? Very nice. The bumpers are aluminum. Straight through. All of this stuff is aluminum. There's no plastic that I can see in this area. Somebody asked me the other day if I had a chubby. And I said, you're darn right I did. Check it out. I got these at the RC four-wheel drive store. These are 1/10 scale. People are asking me all the time where I get these kind of things. These are 3-ton jacks, okay? Now let me just open it up without cutting myself on camera. There we go. Sweet. There we go. 3-ton jacks for my completed axles. Okay, you can get these on the site. I'll leave a link in the video description because I know over-experienced people want to know. Check that out. Is that cool or what? 3 tons. Pretty scale looking. Yeah, I totally want to put an axle assembly on this now. Okay, I got 2 of these. I don't really mention prices in my build videos because as they go on in time, prices are always changing. But I can always say you can go and check it out for yourself. Now you know what they're called and where you get them. Kaboom! So I do have 1 full axle assembly. It comes with 2 that are already done. Let's kind of move that to the center just for now. I could put that on there better, but I got to get to this part. This is an assembly that I've actually already taken apart. Kind of moved ahead a little bit here. I undid all the lugs around the center differential cover and removed it. Anybody that recognizes my show or that's been here before will see that I've actually put on the inside some marine grease. Marine grease is waterproof, water-resistant grease that I use in all of my scale trucks and the axles around the bearings because I like to take my trucks into water. Even though they're cast, and these are solid, right? Those bearings right there, they have a tendency to rust. And if you're going to use marine grease, my friends, definitely, come on, you got to put on a rubber glove and you put your marine grease. How's that for the size of a gun? I go through this stuff so much though. Slam it down on the table. Make sure to get in there. You don't want to put in too much. I know this is pretty dirty looking. You don't want to get in there and put too much marine grease on the inside. It's certainly not necessary, but get around those bearings, right? You want to make sure that's where you really have enough grease on the inside. See, I'll just get an extra bit, just kind of... Before I did it up, I wanted to make sure, because I know a lot of people just jam these areas full of marine grease. And what they don't know when they're first doing this is if you put too much marine grease in this area, what's going to happen is you'll get binding, right? So you don't want your motor to be working extra hard just because you have too much marine grease in there. One of the important things I meant to mention right away, but still. And through the magic of video, perfect. Both axles with both differentials have been at least water resisted. There's no way to make bearings waterproof from the stock kit that I know of, but at least these are done. Time to move on to step one. Basically, I can move this part out of the way for now. The axles are good for now, even though one of them is going to take part in step number one. All of the hardware should be taken from bag E, which is this little fella, which I cut open. Kaboom. What do we have in bag E? It looks like we have quite a few bags. Okay, and they're stapled together. So obviously these must be stages, I am assuming. So I'm going to need some M3 8 millimeters. These are M2, M3, nope. Okay, M3, 8 mil. These are all M3s, 12 mil. Awesome, 10 mil. I love it. Counting down, 14 mil. There we go, last one. There's 10 of them. Sweet. I also need some, let me just see these for a minute. Oh, I think I got them all, actually. Yep, I just need 2 of these. These will go, if I had it like this, this is going through the middle hole, that's what she said, and like so. It really is hard to tell from the picture because it's simply some sort of optical illusion. Alright, now I totally cheated. I know. I moved ahead, but I actually wanted to see how step 1 was done with the M3 and the 8 millimeter countersunk screws. Now, I know people are looking at this wondering what the heck this is, but it's actually a brace for the front axle from what I see. If I position the front axle like it is in the picture, this is how I do it, hey? I always try to line it up with the picture as well. Front brace on the, if you want to have a good look at it, you can see the way it's built. Okay, just in case you are building along, all aluminum. Amazing. I didn't tighten these up. Maybe I should over tighten them, but I actually just put them in place. I probably need some Loctite in there, but we'll see. I know that it's not going to have a lot of movement. So if I put this on like so, it's a perfect fit, question mark. Yep, line it up with the top holes, and I should be able to pop that in with a couple of 8 millimeter M3s. Easily marked in the bag. I love it. There we go. I'll just put these out in the tray. Super magnetic tray. And we'll put this together. You know, there's something unique about doing a build video as well as, if these are countersunk, this doesn't make sense. Hold on a second. This goes in there, this goes in there. Yeah, perfect. And it still looks like it. Just looks like a different screw altogether. Ha ha ha. That's totally what she said. Hold on. Looks like a different top. These ones are flatheads. Yeah, and these are saying the countersunk screws. So look at that. I'm glad I'm looking. You got to pay attention. Hey, even Medic was doing it wrong there. Yeah. They're rounded. So those are all Allens, looks like. 6 millimeter, 8 millimeter. Yep, totally. Okay, second bag. It says BHCS. The other one was an S series. I know that doesn't make any sense to you, but it will if you're building along with me. Anybody who's built a kit knows how challenging it can be, especially and how important it is to put the right screws in the right spot. simply because you can ruin a lot of stuff if you put oversized screws in the wrong holes. Okay, so flip this around, get this all mounted up properly, make sure everything lines up, and not over tighten these. Yeah, these are the right screws. Perfecto. Okay, I'll get this in here. All four. I am not using a drill. I do not want to over tighten these, even though I have a drill standing by in case I want to do it. But for the time being, I'm happy just hand tightening these. I can see why I didn't need to over tighten the bottom mounts, because really with these screws going in on top, there's no concern of these braces falling apart. There we go. Bum, bum, ba, da, 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 da. Doing this in real time. You know, it's sped up for you guys, obviously, but it's not taking me a lot of time to put this together so far. Okay. Line it up with the picture. Looks good to me. Perfect. There we go. Next, what's it asking for? It's looking for another couple of screws. Oh, I moved ahead too quick? Nope, we're moving to the back axle. That's why. Front axle is now completed. Okay, back axle and truss. One of the things I noticed about the back axle, and I'm probably doing this wrong, I'm not quite sure, but from the pictures that I see, this actually came with 2 screws that were already mounted into the holes. It says that we're supposed to be putting in 2 10mm countersunks, which is totally cool. I found them, got these out from the M3 pack, but the screws that were in there seemed to be a little bit long for it to be threaded into. So I removed the screws. And now in the rear link here, I have enough room to put in these countersunk screws that will actually push both of these pieces together. You'll see what I mean here. Put the second one in there, only with the mounting bracket. Now, if you guys don't know what countersunk is, it means that this piece of aluminum actually has a bevel to it. So it fits that screw nice and flush, because the screw on the inside also has a bevel. So we'll put that in the back area. See if I can get that. Come on, buddy. There we go. Yeah, it's almost like these axles come pre-assembled with these screws that hold it together. But when you put on the top truss in the rear axle housing, you have to remove those. But the 14mm screws seem to do the job, except for the bottom plate. Yeah, so I must have to put some smaller screws in here, one or the other. But nothing's falling apart. It's quite solid. So, you know, it's working for now. That's what we do. We're hobbyists. We make it work. With both trusses put together, we'll put these off to the side. Plastic parts can be found in bag G. Kaboom, right there. I have opened bag G in anticipation. Looks like I'm going to need some rod ends with the eyelets. These ones, 15mm. Nope, these are short bent eye rods. Rod ends, pardon me. Velcro straps. This is a battery case. Not a battery case. I mean, this is a receiver case. Let's see here. Mini rod ends. Perfect. Come on. Here's a couple of drive shafts. These feel... I can't tell through the plastic. I don't want to make the call yet on what they're made out of. I will look at those. Medium straight rod ends and offset short rod ends. The M315s are the actual Allens that goes in there, the grub screws, extended grub screws. Boom, 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 boom. Here we go, 15 right there. There we are. Now, which kind of rod ends do I need? Medium, doesn't say. 59mm link, so these links over here from bag F. Once you get these links set up, if you guys have never done links before, this might seem really intimidating to you. But really, this is really straightforward and easy. Each one of these bags, my friends, are just rod ends. If you don't know what rod ends are, rods are basically made up of these grub screws, which I'll show you in a second. These rod ends that attach to the grub screws, and they simply go into these aluminum longer links, right? That's exactly what these are for. And this will help the suspension of these axles move up and down with these dampeners. I know, if you're a newbie, that might have sounded like a lot. Hopefully it was easy to understand, and I'll show you as I go here. I haven't done a build like this for a while, so it's good for you guys to see, I guess. I can see that the links are a little bit different, so I don't want to move too far ahead. Looks like I have a lower link here. It says 73 right on the piece. It also says 73 millimeter link in the instruction book. It also says 65.3 millimeter link, so I'll look for a 65. Nope, these are two 73s and 73. And don't make a fool of me because I'm an idiot and I didn't see that this one has a tapered end. That is the 63 link. Here is the 59 link right above it. See how I'm lining it up right on the instruction book itself? It's just much easier that way, right? So I can identify everything. So there's three other 73s, and this one is a 65.3. Let's confirm this. 65.3, correctamundo. So there's going to be the other side. Perfect. Two of each. Rod ends. Okay, and these are 15 mils. Are they calling for 15 mils in all of them? They certainly are. So on either side of the links, I'm going to need 15 millimeter grubs. What do they call these? Threaded rods. Okay, that makes sense. Each one has a hole for a different size of Allen key, if that's what you want to call it, or a hex wrench. I'll just put one on either side. I'll show you guys how to do this. I know a lot of the people that are watching right now, I'm sorry. I hope you certainly don't think I'm trying to show you stuff you already know. It's simply for the folks that haven't seen it. Okay, what kind of end is this? There we go. This is a 1.5 millimeter. The rod ends themselves, I want to make sure to get the right kind, so I'm going to try to line them up with the picture. Let me see here. This one, no, this is bent, so this one will go down here. That's what she said. This one is bent and will go up here. I will need another one of those, but we'll just put that off to the side. And the medium straight rod ends. Let's try those. It looks like that's it. But yeah, that's pretty close. I'd say so. I'd say so. There we go. So now that I have all this laid out in the instruction book and it looks kind of all over the place, don't worry. This is where your trusty drill comes in. All right. You'll also want something like this. Now, a needle nose isn't the ideal thing for me to use here, but just I will use it for ease of use for me in filming. Get in there. Make sure it's going the right direction. The only reason I'm using a drill right now is to get the rods actually into the rod ends, because it's a lot of twisting otherwise. So I'm going to take the rod end. I'll actually just squeeze it. Take this rod itself, the extended grub screw, and just kind of drill it in halfway. You can hear it gets quite tight. Okay. Now with actual handheld turning, that takes quite a bit of torque, hard on your wrists. And then I always put it into the rod end first, and then I simply put it on the link. So same thing. The reason why I do it into the rod end first is so it just doesn't continue to screw right into the length of the link and then you lose your grub screw. Here we go. Just kind of started off. Perfect. Actually feels like it would have gone in fairly easy. So many, that's what she says. Holy cow. Old joke, but still very applicable here. Okay, getting that in. There is one complete link. Now I'm going to want to make two of those because there's going to be two sides. Now that you get the idea on how I make one link, I'm going to move things along and I'll put all these links, get them all done. We'll move to the next step.